A 99% of movie dinosaurs are scientifically inaccurate. Why? Born for decades, cinema presented creatures barely resembling paleontology. But their static poses and scaly skin reflected outdated assumptions. And now that we understand the old view, let's explore the shift. The core challenge lies in incomplete data recovery from deep time. Paleontologists use anatomical inference to rebuild muscle structure. Determining true size requires meticulous scaling of fragments found. Until counterbalance is crucial, early films often missed this physics. A muscle attachment points dictate posture and running gait dynamics. And the environment dictated necessary adaptations for terrestrial life. Key. The greatest leap forward involved the discovery of integumentary structures. Feathers, once considered only for birds, cover many theropods. This changes the entire visual narrative from reptile to avian ancestor. The ocular structure reveals much about activity patterns, diurnal or nocturnal. The brain case analysis provides clues about sensory capabilities and intelligence. Pneumatic bones suggest complex, bird-like respiratory systems for endurance. Movement kinetics inform pacing, shifting cinematic representation from lumbering to swift. The feet strike the ground with calculated force and distribution. Unheard behavior suggests social complexity, not solitary predation myths. Vocalizations and display structures remain highly speculative, yet vital. And now that we understand the biological evidence, let's examine cinematic translation. Filmmakers often prioritize audience expectation over strict scientific fidelity. But motion capture artists interpret scientific gait models into fluid performance. A subtle muscle flexing during action sells the illusion of life and weight. Overscale and perspective must be constantly calibrated for believability. A depth of field manipulation guides the viewer's focus onto the primary subject. Coloration is perhaps the most speculative area of cinematic rendition. Are they camouflaged drab reptiles or vibrant display organisms? Metabolism dictates energy expenditure, influencing how fast they move and grow. But heavy exertion requires realistic respiratory visualization, often omitted for simplicity. The scientific process itself is relentless, seeking constant refinement of the model. Phylogenetic relationships constantly shift, redefining dinosaur family branches. Nesting behaviors reveal social structure, challenging the lone hunter trope. But juvenile dinosaurs often possessed strikingly different morphologies than adults. The biochemical analysis of melanosomes hints at real-world dinosaur pigmentation patterns. And an illustrated scientist models muscle mass based on fossilized tendon scars. Even dermal texture provides clues about thermoregulation strategies employed. The sheer diversity demands unique biomechanical solutions for every creature. And how they roared is a complex interplay of throat structure and lung capacity. For cinematic sound design often amplifies what the skeleton can only imply. Now that we understand the science, let's revisit the narrative tension. The fear in film often stems from perceived predatory instinct and scale. The connection to modern birds offers immediate relatability to audiences. A five-feather structure implies aerodynamics, even if flight was not the primary function. The structural integrity must hold up under cinematic stresses and impacts. On four-limb dexterity, where present, opens possibilities for interaction staging. Proclaiming ability, or lack thereof, profoundly impacts scene geography selection. By growth cycles, represented by shedding, offer dramatic visual opportunities. A surface physics, like moisture interaction, increases photorealistic immersion greatly. The goal is an ecosystem, where the dinosaur fits perfectly, not dominates unnaturally. The unseen presence often generates greater tension than the full reveal. The continuous feedback loop between science and cinema drives accuracy forward. Every pore, every feather, is a calculated scientific hypothesis visualized. Aubert, the protagonist's journey, is the audience's journey into deep time. This modern reconstruction represents the current pinnacle of consensus science. It balances the need for spectacular visuals with genuine anatomical truth. The walk is no longer a lumber, but a purposeful, high-energy stride. New discoveries today will revise these models tomorrow. The pursuit continues. But each film is a snapshot of our current understanding, built from stone. And this is the truth behind the fantasy science driving cinematic spectacle forward.